peek into my mindset. Yeah, like this. So like you can see there's a definitive line here after he's already signed off.
Yeah.
Then it's like in red and the text is a little bit bigger. And then they just throw this in there. So a couple of options. You tell the story and, or maybe he tells the story, whoever tells it, like whatever, it's fine. That's not really going to affect the bottom. So your idea is really good.
Okay.
Add something at the bottom that has to do, with whatever he wants to sell. Now, ideally, what you can do is make a transition in the same email. So I'll pull up another sample of that in a second. But it's like if what he's selling and the story have nothing to do with each other, then you just kind of put a line here, which like separates the two, right? So it's like, okay, here's idea A, nothing to do with idea B. So we're just going to draw a line. And then we're going to put a big like red thing at the bottom so we can make sure that we at least have a place to click. Because you talk to the client and you're like, hey man, you tell some good stories, people like them, but there's nothing they can buy. So we have to add a link, otherwise people can't buy. And it's not going to piss people off because there's a line here, right? So it's like a responsive message. This is not going to irritate them.
Right.
And if it does, that person just has a bad mindset and they're not ever going to buy in the future anyway.
Right. Okay.
So don't worry about the haters. So, now this was a really good transition that I actually read. Yeah, right here. So he's talking about like how he made an extra like 200K basically just from this one idea. And you're reading this email and like, I know Copy Accelerator's coming up and I know he's going to try to sell a lot of tickets. So naturally this time of year, when I get emails from Stefan, I like assume that they're going to be about Copy Accelerator. But here's what's funny. So when I got this, I opened it and I was like, oh, this is probably going to be about Copy Accelerator. And I read the first few lines. I'm like, oh, this has nothing to do with Copy Accelerator. And I started reading it. I'm like, wow, this is, really good advice. Like, this is cool. Like, this makes sense. And I didn't even realize that he was going to sell me something until I got to like this line right here. It's like, think about how it can immediately applies to my business. You should be doing the same thing. And there's no better place for you to get started than that.
Yeah. When I read that, I was like, that's smooth.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, that was super smooth. So if you can make a transition, so if the concept is the same as what's being sold, so like really all he's trying to do with this one is say like, hey, here's a trick I learned to make an extra okay, like it was mind-blowing. Oh, by the way, there's another place where a whole bunch of smart people reveal mind-blowing tricks to make you a bunch of extra money. That's Copy Accelerator. So it's the idea that he started with is very congruent with what he's selling. It's like
what he's selling.
Accelerator, honestly, bro, is just a bunch of like good ideas that people have that make extra money.